The Dark Night of the Soul
by St. John of the Cross. Book 2, Chapter 15, sets down the second stanza and its exposition. In darkness and secure, by the secret ladder disguised, O happy chance! In darkness and concealment, my house being now at rest. In this stanza the soul still continues to sing of certain properties of the darkness of this night, reiterating how great is the happiness which came to it through them. It speaks of them in replying to a certain tacit objection, saying that it is not to be supposed that, because in this night and darkness it has passed through so many tempests of afflictions, doubts, fears, and horrors, as has been said, it has for that reason run any risk of being lost. On the contrary, it says, in the darkness of this night it has gained itself. For in the night it has freed itself and escaped subtly from its enemies, who were continually hindering its progress. For in the darkness of the night it changed its garments, and disguised itself with 3 liveries and colors, which we shall describe hereafter, and went forth by a very secret ladder which none in the house knew, the which ladder, as we shall observe likewise in the proper place, is living faith. By this ladder the soul went forth in such complete hiding and concealment, in order the better to execute its purpose, that it could not fail to be in great security. Above all, since in this purgative night the desires, affections, and passions of the soul are put to sleep, mortified, and quenched, which are those that, when they were awake and alive, consented not to this. The first line, then, runs thus: in darkness and secure. Chapter 16 explains how, though in darkness, the soul walks securely. The darkness which the soul here describes relates, as we have said, to the desires and faculties, sensual, interior, and spiritual. For all these are darkened in this night as to their natural light, so that being purged in this respect, they may be illumined with respect to the supernatural. For the spiritual and sensual desires are put to sleep and mortified, so that they can experience nothing, either divine or human. The affections of the soul are oppressed and constrained, so that they can neither move nor find support in anything. The imagination is bound, and can make no useful reflection. The memory is gone. The understanding is in darkness, unable to understand anything. And hence the will, likewise, is arid and constrained, and all the faculties are void and useless. And in addition to all this, a thick and heavy cloud is upon the soul, keeping it in affliction, and as it were, far away from God. It is in this kind of darkness that the soul says here it traveled securely. The reason for this has been clearly expounded, for ordinarily the soul never strays save through its desires, or its tastes, or its reflections, or its understanding, or its affections. For as a rule it has too much or too little of these, or they vary and go astray, and hence the soul becomes inclined to that which behooves it not. Wherefore, when all these operations and motions are hindered, it is clear that the soul is secure against being led astray by them. For it is free not only from itself, but likewise from its other enemies, which are the world and the devil. For when the affections and operations of the soul are quenched, these enemies cannot make war upon it by any other means, or in any other manner. It follows from this that the greater is the darkness wherein the soul journeys, and the more completely is it voided of its natural operations, the greater is its security. For as the prophet says, perdition comes to the soul from itself alone, that is, from its sensual and interior desires and operations. And good, says God, comes from me alone. Wherefore, when it is thus hindered from following the things that lead it into evil, there will then come to it forthwith the blessings of union with God in its desires and faculties, which in that union he will make divine and celestial. Hence, at the time of this darkness, if the soul considers the matter, it will see very clearly how little its desire and its faculties are being diverted to things that are useless and harmful, and how secure it is from vainglory and pride and presumption, vain and false rejoicing, and many other things. It follows clearly, then, that by walking in darkness, not only is the soul not lost, but it is even greatly gained, since it is here gaining the virtues. But there is a question which at once arises here, namely, since the things of God are of themselves profitable to the soul and bring it gain and security, why does God in this night darken the desires and faculties with respect to these good things, likewise in such a way that the soul can no more taste of them or busy itself with them than with these other things, and indeed in some ways can do so less? The answer is that it is well for the soul to perform no operation touching spiritual things at that time, and to have no pleasure in such things, because its faculties and desires are base, impure, and wholly natural. And thus, although these faculties be given the desire and interest in things supernatural and divine, they could not receive them, save after a base and natural manner, exactly in their own fashion. For as the philosopher says, whatsoever is received comes to him that receives it after the manner of the recipient. Wherefore, since these natural faculties have neither purity, nor strength, nor capacity to receive, and taste things that are supernatural after the manner of those things, which manner is divine,